Hello indie game fans, we have a number of 1.0 releases that dropped out of nowhere, with the usual lot of updates and DLC that adds more value to existing games, with a fantastic top 3 if I do say so myself. Let's begin with Forgive Me Father Update 1, the first major early access patch for this eldritch horror first-person shooter. The core game has you playing as a priest who winds up facing off against an ancient cosmic horror with an impressive comic book-like art style and great action. This update added 2 new levels, a new weapon named the Thundernomicon, as well as an upgrade for the harpoon gun with some slight immersion-breaking Christmas decorations as well, so 'tis the season to be slaying. One title that did get quite a bit of attention in 2019 was Lonely Mountains Downhill, this time releasing a free DLC titled Riley's Return, where you get to experience a new map in Mount Riley. This follows on from a paid DLC in 2020, where the low-poly downhill mountain biking game is pretty satisfying when you manage to nail that shortcut, so for free, why not go back and check it out.
When the first generation ships arrived, humanity had little more than themselves to rebuild civilization after the planet killer extinguished all life on Earth.
This video is brought to you by Prosperous Universe, a very interesting release in 2021 that I'm happy to work with since it really does bring me back. This game is, unbelievably so, a browser-based MMO that has you managing your economy in space, which brings back a flood of memories since I used to play games like this in the early 2000s. It is all about economic simulation, where you can do things like build farms, sell the food and build more farms, and then things get complex with shipping, trade, politics, and terraforming and colonization of planets, with increasing complexity in production chains and so on. Do note that while there are some gorgeous concept art pieces that are made for the game, it does involve looking at a lot of text and spreadsheets and watching numbers go up, but being a free-to-play title, there's no harm in checking this out. Somehow, the developers are making this work in 2021 with a premium subscription model that is not pay to win, so if this looks like your kind of game, do hop on over to check it out.
The choice is yours in Prosperous Universe.
One of the impressive colony sims currently in early access is Honey, I Joined the Cult, where the developers released Update 1 with quite a number of new features with a great narrated trailer, so I'll leave you to them.
Random events. Your cult's day-to-day life will now be enriched by randomly occurring curiosities. Whether it's a clone invasion, the annual nudist parade, or beard growth virus, it will create some havoc for sure. We've also added mission encounters that add opportunities, obstacles, and uncertainty to some of the missions you'll aim to complete. Planning a bank heist to fill the organization's coffers? Well, watch out for that clown lurking in the sewers. Need a new PR campaign to spin? I mean share the joys of being a member? Best prepare for some complications. And most important of all, Christmas cosmetics! Bring a Christmas spirit to your organization's headquarters. Decorate with Christmas trees, penguins, candy canes, snowmen, and other jolly goodies. Ho, ho, ho! So sign up to a great and groovy cause. Play Honey, I Joined a Cult now in Steam Early Access.
I think I mentioned Kukoos Lost Pets a little while back, since the look of this family-friendly 3D platformer certainly appeals to me, looking also cute with variety in levels and mechanics.
I finally found you guys, my friends!
There are 2 playable characters, which appear to be identical other than cosmetics, but do introduce new mechanics and abilities through the use of 5 different pets, as you team up to go on a quest to rescue other brainwashed creatures. The Brazilian developers do cite 3D platformers from the golden era like Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie as inspirations, where this was released out of nowhere in early access, with more levels and a co-op mode to come. Another awesome first-person shooter that got an update is Dread Templar, where, strangely enough, this is part 1 of Content Update 4 since the developers wanted to get something out for the holidays and decided to release what they had rather than waiting for the full update to be complete. As such, this adds one new level, which includes new enemies, new emblems to collect, a new side area, secret, as well as a new soundtrack, looking to get even better. Praey for the Gods has the unfortunate distinction of perhaps being better known for being threatened in a lawsuit rather than for the quality of the game itself, having to change the spelling of Praey to what you currently see due to Bethesda throwing their weight around. But for this smaller team, the game finally launched out of early access and is worth a look. This is a third-person action game, which of course is paying tribute to Shadow of the Colossus, having you climbing on gigantic monsters to slay them by attacking their weak point, with decent visuals and action, making it a title of interest. Somehow, a number of long-in-development, automation-focused city builder titles just decided to release out of early access, with Factory Town last month and QB Factorium in December. This is a voxel entry that has you building out complex production chains using the now common conveyor belts and mechanical arms to get the right materials to the right place. Interestingly, this game expands that by having a variety of other transportation, such as airships and trains, but you know the drill, gather and combine materials to get the resources you need to tech up and upgrade. I'll be honest, I much prefer the look of this game as compared to Factorial, where in comparison, this game is tremendously underrated, so if you love factory builders, please check this out. We did also get the 1.0 release of Beacon, a very stylish sci-fi action roguelite that is definitely under the radar, where I remember covering this game way back when it was still on itch.io, and it's quite an interesting upgrade system through the use of mutations. I'm not trying to be mean, but this can be seen as somewhat of a warning for indie developers, since apparently this game has been in development for 7 years, 2 of which was in Steam Early Access, and based on the number of Steam reviews, I don't think this game sold particularly well and cannot possibly be profitable for the number of hours put in. Yes, money is not everything, but sustainable game development is critical if we want to see developers continue to make cool indie games, so if this looks neat to you, do consider picking this up. One of the more interesting and great-looking games to release out of early access is Sands of Salza, coming to us from a Chinese developer, where some effort has gone into the English translation, so it's not too bad, although I am seeing the usual frustrations crop up. Why I say this is worth playing is that this is an action strategy game where you're in control of a hero character but do lead troops into battle, being, yes, somewhat like Dynasty Warriors but from an isometric camera angle. It has a pretty decent art style as well, and as with Dynasty Warrior games, does make you feel powerful when slaughtering masses of enemies. It is currently 40% off until the end of the year, which is pretty decent, so to expand your gaming palette just a little bit, to check this out, taking the #1 spot. For more games like Diablo, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.